The Diego Armando Maradona Stadium is set to undergo a major redevelopment with an estimated cost of 200 million euros, and today we're bringing you everything you need to know about it. Let's get started! A new era could be underway for Napoli Stadium. The Italian club has entered a new phase in discussions regarding its future home, and we're here to break down all the details. The aspect attracting the most attention is that this project could put Naples back in contention to host matches during UEFA Euro. Before this latest development, the club had already made it clear that it did not want to stand still in the face of the problem. In an official statement, Napoli announced that it was exploring the possibility of building a brand new stadium with private funding. The reason was straightforward. The current Diego Armando Maradona Stadium had not been approved by UEFA as a venue suitable for hosting matches at the European Championship. This issue became even more significant because Naples is one of Italy's potential host cities for the tournament, which will be jointly organized by Italy and Turkey. As a result, pressure to resolve the stadium situation increased considerably. The current stadium carries enormous historical significance. It was inaugurated on the 6th of December 1959 under the name Stadio del Sole. In 1963, it was renamed Stadio São Paulo. Then, in 2020, it received its current name, Diego Armando Maradona Stadium, following the death of Napoli's greatest ever player. Today, the stadium has a maximum capacity of 54,756 spectators. However, despite its symbolic importance to both the club and the city, the venue became the subject of debate due to UEFA's requirements for major international tournaments. Napoli's initial assessment was rather blunt. After 2 years of studies conducted by technical specialists working with the club, the conclusion was that the stadium was incompatible with the standards required for Euro 2032. The club also argued that the improvements proposed by the local authorities would not be financially sustainable and would fail to transform the stadium into a truly modern facility. For that reason, plans for a completely new stadium emerged as a serious alternative. The project was also designed with a view to revitalizing a disadvantaged area of the city. The proposal was never intended solely as a football solution. Napoli emphasized that constructing a new stadium in an area requiring investment could contribute significantly to urban regeneration without creating additional costs for the local community. In other words, the project was presented as something that could benefit the city beyond football, supporting local growth and redevelopment. Although specific details about the chosen location were not revealed, the club made it clear that the stadium would form part of a wider vision for Naples. However, the situation changed dramatically with the confirmation that the existing stadium would instead undergo major renovation works. The announcement was made by the mayor of Naples, Gaetano Manfredi, through social media. According to him, there is now a concrete pathway towards modernizing the Diego Armando Maradona Stadium. The objective is to make it safer, more efficient, and capable of hosting major sporting events and international competitions. The city administration also stressed that cooperation between local and national institutions will be essential for the project to succeed. According to the published plans, the total cost of the redevelopment is expected to be around 200 million euros. This investment will cover much more than cosmetic improvements. The project includes structural repairs, expanded facilities and modifications designed to bring the stadium in line with the standards required for Euro 2032. After years of uncertainty and debate, Napoli's historic stadium is once again at the heart of the club's future plans. Among the proposed changes, one of the most significant is the reopening of the third tier. This alone could add space for approximately 10,000 additional spectators. As a result, the stadium's capacity would increase well beyond its current figure of around 54,000 seats. The redevelopment also includes the construction of new hospitality boxes, VIP areas, and an expanded roof structure. These additions would move the stadium much closer to the standards expected of modern football venues. Another striking feature of the project is the creation of a museum known as the Maradona Experience. The aim is to further strengthen the connection between the stadium and the greatest player in Napoli's history. The museum would preserve the legacy of the legendary number 10 who transformed football in the city. This aspect of the project gives the redevelopment a unique identity, linking modernization, not only to technical requirements but also to the club's emotional and cultural heritage. The change likely to have the greatest impact on matchday atmosphere is the removal of the athletics track. At present, the track separates supporters from the pitch and creates a considerable distance between fans and the action. Once removed, certain sections of the stadium could be brought as much as 21 meters closer to the playing surface. This would dramatically transform the experience inside the ground, creating a more intense and intimidating atmosphere. Redevelopment extends beyond the stadium itself. The project forms part of a wider urban development strategy for Naples and is expected to include improvements to the surrounding areas. Construction is scheduled to begin at the end of the current season. As a result, the city now faces a major transformation that will require careful planning and coordination. This is not simply a stadium refurbishment, but part of a broader vision for the future of the area. In his statement, Gaetano Manfredi said that Napoli supporters understand the need to improve the facilities in order to make them safer, more efficient, and capable of meeting the demands of major sporting events. He also stated that Naples deserves a stadium worthy of its history, its supporters, and its future. His comments underlined the fact that the redevelopment has become a priority for the city. In the near future, city officials are expected to meet with UEFA representatives to present Naples' bid to become one of the host cities for Euro 2022. The proposal now centers on the Diego Armando Maradona Stadium serving as one of the tournament venues. The competition will be jointly hosted by Italy and Turkey. This represents a significant shift because UEFA previously rejected the stadium's candidacy, arguing that it did not meet the necessary requirements. Even so, the possibility of building a completely new stadium has not disappeared. Napoli had already announced plans for such a project in an underdeveloped area of the city, and that option remains on the table. However, with funding now approved for the redevelopment, the existing stadium has returned to the forefront of the club's plans. Debate between renovating the Diego Armando Maradona Stadium and building a new venue therefore remains alive, although the balance has clearly shifted towards modernizing the club's historic home. At the end of the day, what is at stake is far more than a construction project. It is about Naples' future presence on the biggest stages of European football. The Diego Armando Maradona Stadium is entering a decisive new chapter with major changes ahead and a genuine opportunity to return to the center of the European football landscape. Before you go, I've left another video on the screen for you. Click on it and continue following our journey. See you next time. Take care.